think they're nervous? They're more nervous tonight than they are going out to bat.
He's put his thumbs up. Does that mean we're on?
Are we live?
Hey!
Oh, it's not on there.
Good evening, Barnes.
How are you?
It's been such a long time.
It's been well. You look very well there.
Where has our current producer been? Apparently he's a very busy man. He's been organising beer festivals. He's been running every single junior team in the club.
He's full on.
He is.
He's utterly full on. But Bear, you look very well. Have you had a sunbed?
What? No, I've been at the 80s Rewind Festival at Henley, singing very loudly in the sun. And I sang an awful lot better than Andy Bell from Erasure did.
Did you?
Who was absolutely trolleyed, listener, I'm telling you.
Was he?
He was trolleyed and he didn't remember any of his words.
So he didn't give you a little respect.
And he was wearing a pair of spangly hot pants, which I can only say didn't do it for me.
No.
But apart from that, it was a very good weekend. And how was your weekend? So I'm sorry that I left you in the lurch.
Well,
and went to the 80s Rewind Festival instead of being
Saturday morning, I woke up thinking, ace, I've got the day with the bear. It's going to be a laugh. We'll have a crack. So I rush around, get down here, literally walk into the bear pit. No bear.
I know.
And it's not like you wrote to me and said, Barnes, I'm not going to be there. You just foxtrot Oscar and...
No, that's not true. I put something on the loop.
What loop?
The WhatsApp loop.
The WhatsApp loop.
I informed
you. I'm glad you had a good time. Yeah. Did you take the current Mrs. Bear?
Well, she took me. If you pardon the terminology, she drove me there and back both days, which was very kind of her.
Both days?
Which would have been good if it wasn't for the fact that the only cider they had to be purchased was fruit-flavoured cider. So over the weekend I turned into Freddie Bear, and I can only honestly say that I don't have a sore throat because I drank Tixie Licks all weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, it's the most god-awful stuff I've ever tasted in my life. I never want to experience that again.
I think it should be taxed.
I'm going to write a letter to the Rewind Festival organisers telling them how disgraceful it is that all you can get is fruit-flavoured cider.
It's embarrassing.
It's awful.
Especially the audience, because you're all really old.
Yes, exactly. We don't know what fruit-flavoured cider is, apart from it's what our children drink.
Anyway.
So, why don't you ask me what we've got on tonight, then?
What have you got on tonight, Bear? Is it a pack show?
In a pack show tonight. We're going to mourn the death of a few people, like we usually do, because it's a good way to start the show. We're going to discuss our hats. You've been studying very hard all the league positions and results for the last few weeks.
Yes, I have.
And then there's some up-to-date. Hang on, we've got Rent-a-Mob here. No, it's okay. We don't mind the listies misbehaving. We're going to look at current sporting issues and we'll see if we can squeeze some cricket ones into there. Then we've got some special guests. Now we've been banging on all season about the opening pair. The current opening pair, we don't know, selection happened tonight. They may be split up.
Maybe.
So about that, and we thought it'd be a good idea, didn't we, that they came on as our sons and as guests for us to interrogate.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they got the message, but as we only decided to do the podcast last night, they were the only guys that were willing to do it.
I know.
But I hope they still feel very special.
Well, I think they probably do, because at least one of them has been drinking solidly since the end of their net this evening.
Oh, right, okay.
Then I was going to introduce your number one's son and give him a bit of an interview, but apparently he's gone home to bed.
Sadly, he's had to go home.
He's gone home to bed. So I've got some questions for him, but I might get you to answer those questions.
Okay.
Or perhaps you and Will, between you, could answer those questions and see if you can get the right answers.
Okay.
And then we got 5 wicket takers, and anyone's got 100. And I don't think there've been many of those, although Waz, I think.
Waz got 7 for.
Yeah. So, and then we're going to talk about our next podcast, which might well be the last one of the season. Or we're going to do this throughout the winter, Mr. Producer.
Well, he won't. He shouldn't be as busy throughout the winter, should he?
Exactly. So we might be able to do it, and then our next guests. So that's what we've got on.
Very good.
So
you've done a lot of work there, but in a very short space of time.
You know, I got one of my members of staff to do it.
Did you?
Yeah, we charged it to one of our richest clients, so he doesn't mind.
Very good.
Okay. Sorry, you didn't hear that.
No.
Right. So anyway, let's talk about our hats. What about your hat? That seems to be familiar to me.
Yes. So basically, I've run out of interest in hats. So as I walked in today, your son said, "Barnes, where's your hat?" So I've run out of hats. And plus, I've been in rugby, so I've been tear-assing about all day.
Don't you wear hats in rugby?
Well, I brought my rugby hat a few weeks ago, didn't I?
Okay, yes, true.
So your son very kindly lent me this, and I have to say, beautiful corduroy Cardiff University cricket bucket hat, on trend, fits like a glove.
Can I just say that bucket hats really suit you? They don't really suit me.
Well, nothing really suits me. Normally, just a bucket would be better with 2 holes cut in.
But I am worried about why you'd wear a bucket hat made of felt during the cricket season.
Yeah. It's better than the one... Oh, is that? Who's got the IKEA one that's made out of an IKEA bag?
Yes, Freddie. Yes, so that's good.
Yeah, so it's very kind of your son to lend me this hat. And tell me about your Bob.
Well, this is a Brasenose Strollers touring hat, and this is because Freddie Bear and I have just been on the Brasenose Strollers tour. Well, not the week before this. and we had good fun down in Devon. I was umpiring and managed to get a fifer on day one, which I was quite pleased with. It was a full set too. I got a run out, a stumped, an LBW, and a caught behind. That's a unique fifer.
You tick the box.
And needless to say, I didn't get any wickets the rest of the week.
Do you go on the board anywhere for a fifer?
I don't know. I think I ought to. Yeah, but anyway, so this is the Brasenose Trophy. It was the centenary this year, and we're having a big celebration dinner at Brasenose College later on in the year, in September actually. So it's quite soon. So I thought I'd better just wear the hat one more time.
Very good. I loved you sent couple of little interviews and a
beautiful scene looking over the estuary from Instow over to Appledore in the sunshine. It was magnificent.
Yeah, because it'd been a pretty grotty old week.
It had been a grotty old week.
You put on that.
Sorry, Siri. Don't interrupt me when I'm at work.
Siri idiot.
Sorry.
So yeah, you brought a ray of sunshine to many people.
Good. Well, I'll try and do that.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, thank you. So, shall we move? Let's talk about some sad deaths. Michael Parkinson died.
Tragic.
Not many people know that Michael Parkinson was at school with Dickie Bird.
Yes, I knew that.
Although Dickie Bird was a little bit older than him, I thought Dickie Bird interviewed on the news looked incredibly good, actually.
Yeah, he did. He looked quite sad, though, because they were obviously quite close friends.
Obviously very close. They spent a lot of time moaning about the Southerners, as you do when you're a Northerner.
This is not a good thing, but obviously who was on the show and who was. Connolly was on it like a minute montage with
George Best. Barry Humphries, yes. Dame Edna.
Dame Edna. 70.
Sir Les Patterson, yeah. So other people, Jeff Beck. One of the greatest end of disco songs of all. And another great band. Sinead. A single called Nothing Compares to You.
It's interesting, Sinead O'Connor was only 50s now.
Anyway, so those are the sad deaths that we've experienced since our last podcast. Now, league situation. Some of the leagues are cut and dry. I'd like to take over on this bit.
I think we start with the best news. Fantastic. So, have taken responsibility this year. But what an effort. Brilliant that they've got promoted.
Fantastic.
Never played cricket here. Always go away, wherever, even they're at home. Ferrying different bits and bobs about. So, brilliant effort. So, well done. Congratulations to the fourth team. Look forward to celebrating with you guys on that in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
The third team are second in the league.
Okay.
A bit of a humdinger on Saturday against Densham first team. Now there's rumours because the fourth team had won, the first team had won, the second team had a really important win.
Chairman was getting twitchy.
Chairman was incredibly twitchy. Now there's a lot of rumours. I know the Indian betting circuit were involved as well. That the chairman made a call to Pete Bellow and one or two other boys in the tail. Walk past one, boys. There's a couple of quid in it for you because it cost him 400 quid over. So they lost by one run, Bear.
Ooh, and was there a steward's inquiry?
Well, Hansi Cronje, mate. That's the level we're looking at. Dreadful. But brilliant season for the thirds, and 2 games to go. The second team continue to romp up the league and now fourth.
So could they get promoted?
I don't think so. I think because East Oxford and who's top of the second team league? I've had a brain.
Badger will know.
Leighton Buzzard, thank you, Will.
Now they've got a very hot date, or he's been.
Leighton Buzzard and East Oxford on the second. Looking at some information that Frankie Bean showed me, I think in the 2L League, they've won the last 8 games on the trot.
Fantastic.
So that's really good. So they stick position. Two's had a fantastic win. Sorry, first one had a fantastic win on Saturday.
Yeah.
You were.
I just say that I watched the first Starbucks in Henley. 1 to second slip.
Right, now I said 2 or 3 you put, but I can't say it on the podcast. He's still anyway. So they were brilliant. So really, really important partnership between Will and Maz, and I think
well battered, you two.
Their partnership was not many runs, so that partnership was crucial. But our fielding was absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
There's 3 worldies. Just a
That sad news for horsepower is that they're probably almost certainly down now.
It looks like it, and I think
the Charwell League for horsepower.
So Brickell are definitely up and almost, if not mathematically, they're champions. So congratulations to them. Yeah. And then it's between us and Jarrows Cross. So we've got 235 points. Jarrows Cross have got 226 points. 2 games to go. It's all on.
So we could do with a couple of weeks of absolute deluge.
To be fair,
and then straight to the end of the season party.
I think
we're going to win.
We're going to win.
And next week we have Tame.
Yes.
Which I should go and watch the first bit. Then obviously have to go and watch Arsenal's charge to the title.
Yeah.
So
it's away at Tame.
Away at Tame.
You know the
it's
car
on the way.
park. You know the car park at Tame.
Yes.
Do you know the best thing about that car park? As you drive in here and you go around, and as you come out, there's 4 or 5 bays there, and they just got Barnes only written on.
Really?
So you park there.
Is it spelled correctly?
And if anybody says anything, just say sorry, Barnes.
What I quite like doing is driving onto the grass and driving and parking right on the edge of the boundary.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know if that's allowed.
Like you're 414.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. But
anyway,
and then the final game of the season is at home.
Yes.
But it's also the first game of the rugby season for you. So
yes.
Badger and I will be in the commentary box, and Matt and I, the current producer, while you're off doing your rugby thing.
Yeah.
But then it's the presentation evening after that.
Well, I hear me and you have been invited back, so we couldn't have been really that bad.
Have their people talked to our people?
Well,
I'm not sure if they have. I don't think I've had the memo yet.
I've got something from the head of cricket today.
I think I'm available. So if you want to come, if you want to come and watch us in action, live, please come to the presentation evening in a couple of weeks' time.
Do you know what? They didn't even ask if our fees were the same as last year, whether or not we were putting them up.
Well, I was going to offer them a discount on last year's fees.
Well, so was I, but there you go.
Yeah, never mind.
Anyway.
So it's good to see Badger here. You know, I think we ought to say at this stage what a fantastic effort Badger's put in all season, going around all the grounds.
Brilliant.
And giving us completely fantastic updates.
Yeah, wonderful man.
Well.
He's got black shoes with jeans on, which is an absolute no-no, so I'll have to talk to him about that.
Apparently there's a certain age group of the fairer sex that quite like that.
Is there?
Yes, I think the 90-year-olds plus. The 90-year-olds plus, yeah. They quite like that.
But to be fair, I had a little issue with my laptop today. I've got a very important day tomorrow. I came down to see the Badger. He went, 2 minutes, solved it.
Yeah.
So thank you, Badge.
What did he do? Block all the dodgy sites, did he?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
That works every time.
The best thing about it, he didn't check my history.
Yeah.
What a good man.
No, well done, Badge. And so, right, sporting issues, we ought to say very well done to the Lionesses getting to the World Cup final.
Yes.
I managed to watch it through my monocular from miles away at the Rewind Festival, and I think the right result on the day. I think that we possibly didn't turn up, but also Spain were a very good technical side. From what I saw, I may be wrong.
And wasn't it sad that the girl that scored the winning goal, her father had died 2 or 3 days before the final, and they didn't tell us until afterwards? Talk about mixed emotions.
Yeah, that's sad.
Mad.
But so well done to the Lionesses.
Very good,
especially to Alex Greenwood, who did the old Terry what's his name, and wrapped her head up and carried on playing. Yeah. But they 1 or 2 really good players in that team. But it's a step in the right direction.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's the second most watched thing on the telly since the King's
17 million, that's right up with the number of people that used to watch EastEnders in the old days.
Well, I'm going to go home. There's a double tonight, so it wasn't only yesterday.
Apparently EastEnders is down in the singles.
The Lionesses were only there, how many people? You said 17 million viewers?
I think it was 17 million viewers.
So it's just about 15% more than what we get on a Saturday.
Yes.
So they're getting there, aren't they?
I don't think they had as many hits as we do.
We're
right up there with the Dell.
We're
right up there with the Dell as usual. That's all down to our current producer. Thank you, current producer, wherever you are.
I think he enjoys it. He just doesn't want to do it. Yeah. I think we should beat him more with the stick.
Cricket-wise, the Ashes, what a fantastic finale in both ladies and men's.
Yes,
that was fantastic. I mean, looking at the notes from our last meeting, we were talking all about how we'd played really well, but we'd lost the first 2 tests, and were we just being a bit over flamboyant? Well, all that was turned around into the most fantastic,
amazing
crescendo.
It just seemed to go through quick there, though, didn't it? Like the last day, Broady gets a wicket on his day, all that brilliant
extraordinary
drama.
Extraordinary end. And then the day after he finishes, he's commentating in the 100.
Yes.
He's got it all going, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Good old Broady. And the 100's in full flow. Harry Brook, we could discuss that. Has just scored 141 balls in the 100.
When tonight?
Yes. And he's not in our World Cup side. discuss what on earth's going on there?
I don't know, really. Obviously, Stokes has made himself available. I don't think you can argue with his credentials.
No, he's a finisher and he wins you World Cups. But Harry Brook is one of our best players
in all formats.
Exactly.
Stunning.
So why would you not take him? I just don't understand it.
I don't know, but I don't get it. In a way, you sort of want an injury because I think with Harry Brook in, you've always got... The man is just a superb cricketer.
I predict something along the lines of an escape to victory where one of the players is going to be selected and then you have to jump on his shin to break it so that Harry Brook can get in the team. That's how Sylvester Stallone got in the side in Escape to Victory.
Did well though, didn't he, when he got in the side?
Yeah, considering he didn't know what soccer was.
No, it's a good selection.
But he did have Bobby Moore in his team.
Well, he was a player.
Yeah.
I got a picture of me and Bobby Moore at home.
Have you?
Yeah, it was called School with Moore, and I was playing for Ensham Underwood Watsits, and he was manager of Oxford City, wasn't he, for a bit?
Yeah,
and he had a big day. I had a picture taken with it. I got the worst haircut you've ever seen in your life. That was my mum's fault.
I tell you who else was in that film? Russell Osman.
Yes, he is.
And I play cricket. He's an MCC cricketer. He's a very good bowler.
Is he?
Yeah, very good bowler.
Ipswich centre back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, so you get to hear all sorts of interesting facts, don't you, viewer? Sorry it's so late. If you've got some Horlicks, I should pour yourself some Horlicks because we've got the youngsters coming on now.
Or a large brandy.
So some of you who may not be paying attention and may have been fast asleep for the whole season of our commentary and our podcast might not know, but the two opening batsmen for the first 11 are actually our sons. We don't know in which order they are our sons because of very dodgy games with baskets and car keys about 25 years ago. But,
and me being a milkman in Stanton.
him being a milkman who always delivers. We aren't sure whose son is which, but they do open the batting together. And Barnes sent me a message via the current producer today and said, wouldn't it be fun if we played a game of Mr. and Mrs. with our two opening batsmen? We'll do a bit of an interview as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the format is.
Well, I think we should sit them in the middle. We'll ask them some sensible questions about cricket, and then we'll do Mr. and Mr.
Come on, boys.
So we have to clap these, Herbert.
In you come. Good evening.
We got to squeeze in. Hello, Fred. Will, I'm Matt. Please come in, sit down.
Squeeze up in the
middle,
please.
There. No nepotism on this broadcast, is there? Love it.
Doesn't look that way.
Right, so
are we all in, producer Matt? Good.
You are the current, subject to whatever's been decided at selection tonight, you are the current opening batting pair for the first 11, is that correct?
Yes.
And how long? So can I just tell you? These are the easy questions. And how long have you been opening the batting for the first 11 as a pair?
Well, you are how old now, Fred?
20.
You're 26 years.
6 years. Yeah, 6 years.
First open with Fred as a very, very talented 14-year-old.
14-year-old. That is extraordinary. Yeah. What were you doing when you were 14, Barnes?
Oh, I can't say.
No, well, exactly. No. Do you think that you have this sort of sixth sense as an opening pair that you know what each other's... I mean, you are both very quick, so running between the wickets is not an issue, is it?
No, so, yeah, we get on very well. It's nice to see, especially when we both get out, we turn and look at each other and go, was that a good ball? And it's always, yeah, very, very good ball.
We get a lot of good balls at the top of the
order.
order.
It just seems to happen.
And do you keep count of your runs? Do you know who scored the most runs this season? Between the two of you?
This season it's
this season it's me. We tend to sort of chop and change. And last year was Fred by a landslide, I think.
How many runs have you scored this season, Will?
250 odd.
That's pretty good.
It's 300. It's just over 300 now.
Oh, is it?
Just over 300. Well done, Dad. And I have no idea how many runs you scored, Fred.
It won't take much counting. I think it's a low 180 or
so
something.
Who do you think, since you've been opening the batting, I didn't realise you were 14, that's ridiculous. But since you've been opening the batting, who scored the most runs?
I think that's an unfair question.
No, I've asked it.
And I'll tell you why it's an unfair question. Because for the first 4 years that Fred and I opened the batting together, he only played 10 games a year.
Oh, right.
Because obviously he played school cricket. And there probably still isn't much in it. So,
okay. So since he became
I'd say on average it's probably Fred.
You say that, but in those very few games that he played, he scored far more runs than he does now.
So since you became
Have you not worked it out?
No, that's not my gig.
I think you need to go back to playing 10 games a season.
I said, since you left school and became a full-time pro opening the batting, you've gone backwards. Is that what you're saying? That's not the case.
He's opening the batting with me too much. I think I've rubbed off on him.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
But you did look after him when he was a young man, didn't you?
Absolutely.
So
now he repays you by giving you bats.
He's my proper dad.
So Will, I happen to know that Freddie hates facing the first ball. Have you ever been tempted to force him to face the first ball?
No, I've always kind of been of the notion I'll just do whatever the other opening partner wants me to do, but because I open with Freddie so much, now I insist on having first ball.
Well, I don't think we haven't had the conversation about first ball for probably.
I think we had it once when you were 14 and you was like, "Don't make me do that."
Yeah.
So I just assumed 6 years on that was still the case.
Yeah. So it's interesting because you could quite easily be facing the second ball if there's a single off the first ball, clearly. So it's not really that much difference, is there?
Which actually happened Saturday. Yeah.
I usually chew up 10 or 15 before I let Freddie get anywhere near it, to be honest.
It's probably a good thing.
But 48 will on Saturday turn out to be a crucial. But I mean, obviously the standout batsman of the season for us has been Maz.
Yeah.
I mean, so whichever one of you two is out, you know that you're gonna have Maz coming out, and he's on absolutely fantastic form, which takes a little bit of pressure off you guys, doesn't it?
It's normally me out first, to be fair. So I like watching these two and lapping on my own until you're out, and then we can lap together.
We do a lot of laps, don't we? You know, it is a bit of a nice kind of relief when I see my mate go, and vice versa. It's all of a sudden Maz comes in and we're like, oh, we're right, we've got a proper batsman coming in now. It's often why I sort of bat away a lot of chat on a Saturday. I was like, there's no point doing it for me. You may as well save it for the proper batsman coming in.
So obviously I sit next to Barnes when the batters start. And
Is that when you turn up?
Yeah,
when I've got not a more serious gig to go to, I do turn up to the pit. I do turn up to the pit, and I do know that Barnes is a much more nervous watcher of his child than I am. I've been doing it for so long. It's just like watching another game to it. Barnes is very twitchy when you're batting. Are you aware of how twitchy he is?
I've noticed it. So we actually discussed it on Sunday. We went for a coffee Sunday morning, and I was giggling by the time I got there. He said, "What's up with you?" I said, "Well, I've just rewatched it." And he obviously knew straight away I was talking about the commentating.
Because you had sent me a text.
Yeah, and there was a couple of times where I'd literally just defend the ball, and he'd be like, "Yeah, that's all right. And I'm like. So I'm watching this back going, yeah, it really is okay. Like, you don't have to, if I'm out, then worry, but you know.
Well, I think Barnes may get more twitchy, but I think you have more scary moments with me. For the shots I play, I think it's probably...
Well, it's never. I mean,
agreeing.
I'm literally used to it now. So I'm used to it living on the edge while you're batting. I think you sort of get battle hardened watching you bat. I mean, I just go back to, I think there's 1 point this season against Hallspath away when you hit 5 consecutive balls for 4, and I thought, this is it. This is, and then you smacked a long hop straight to mid wicket, and
it was a good ball.
It was back to.
Sometimes you get a good one.
It was back to type, and I thought, yeah, just there was me in this little oasis of enjoyment, and then back to normal. Then, so that's fine. But it was good. It was great while it lasted. A bit like having a really nice small cocktail that tastes great for a bit, and then you're back to drinking.
Then you realise you've got
back to drinking flat lager.
Then you realise you've got to drive home.
and
it's quite funny because they're two completely different opposite batsmen. One's left-handed, one's right-handed, obviously. Yeah. But Freddie wants to get on with it, and Will's just grafts away. And it's mad. But I do get really, really nervous. And like when Freddie gets out, I don't know what to say because I know you're fucking spewing, but you're not going to say anything. Will gets out, and I'm really conscious to go. Rather than thinking, oh, he's got out. It's just awful. It is awful. Yeah, but I want to watch him back longer. We had a chat, didn't we, when you were pretty squiffy over at Challow, when you came to watch the twos, and you were like, yeah, whatever, don't care, just run at the wicket.
Can I just tell you, his grandmother is watching this show live. Hi, Ma. Say hello to Ma.
Oh, how you doing, Linka? How are you?
Can I just tell you, Ma, that he doesn't drink as much as everyone thinks he does?
Myth, Ma.
Wow. That's the end of the show.
No, I second that. I want to watch him back more because he's just...
Yeah, but you want to watch it from 22 yards away.
That's the thing, I've got the best seat in the house.
You and Maz bat.
And I love it when eventually Freddie does a lap and he comes in dressed like in his stupid Arsenal socks, Crocs and a daft hat and goes, just run at it.
Can I just explain to you, the reason why he has so many of those Arsenal socks is because I got half for me and half for him, but they don't go over my calves, so he had to have the whole lot.
I think the toes are the issue, not the calves.
I mean, just going through the team, I was thinking earlier today, Henry, our current chairman's son, is playing for Sussex under 18s today, and got 18 runs and probably getting some wickets as well. And he can't get in our team at the moment, which is a sort of testament to what a strong, well balanced side we've got at the moment, which is great.
Yeah.
But he's going to be pushing. So competition for places is what makes every club good.
And I think if we're honest, we've got 11 cricketers that are good enough for the first team, and we've got 11 cricketers just about good enough for the second team. Yeah. What we need is another 3 players, 14 players that are good enough to play first team cricket, that are playing in the twos, that are pushing because they want to get back in the ones, and that strengthens the whole club. Yeah. And we don't have that strength in depth, but that's probably most sports clubs.
That will come when we get into Div 1.
Yeah, possibly.
It will come when we get into
Div 1. But I think we need to be really careful that if we go up to Div 1 because the boys has got, if we go up and come back down, it doesn't matter. What we don't want to do is go up, flood it full of people that aren't really club people, and we lose that ethos, and then all of a sudden we do what all the other clubs have done. They don't need to mention them, but we got to keep the club.
What we've got that this club has that no other club has is
Bear and Barn Show.
Apart from Bear and Barn Show. Apart from fruit-flavoured cider on tap everywhere.
No, frozen cocktails.
We've got the locals around us who love us, and we love them, and they keep this club going. Even the current producer does the occasional bit, and the current current producer, she does a bit as well, apparently.
Just graphs.
Yeah, well, I mean, and all the people around here that support it, even people from Liverpool are in here. We even allow people from Liverpool in here.
Do you know what? I saw him in the centre of Whitney the other day, and I took him and waved at him, and he just ignored me.
Did he didn't take your hubcap?
No, he didn't. I know. To be fair, when I saw him, I thought, I better not stop. And that's why I just waved, and he sort of realised after about 40 minutes that it was me. Well, I was still in Whitney, so I was in the queue.
So I've got to ask.
Anyway, should you talk about these two?
Yeah. So what is it with you and Cosford, Mr. Cosford, and these hats and shoes things? What's going on here? What are the Crocs made by Greggs and the hat made by Lidl all about?
Well, Cos is like a big uncle, I'd say. I've got my dad here, and then Cos is the big uncle.
Mm-hmm.
So
that should save you a few quid.
When you want to
didn't know we were related.
Which is clearly quite a lot, I need supporters, and Cos very kindly knows that I'm a student who's got very questionable fashion, but still best than yours. So he saw the Greggs Crocs, and obviously we like Crocs, don't we? So he went.
Crocs are the future, the past, and the present.
You kept them alive for a number of years, so well done to you.
What goes around comes around. Everyone wears them now. I told you they'd come back.
But yeah, Cosford, he saw the Greggs Crocs, and he just thought there's only one person who'll suit those, so he got them for me.
What a nice touch.
Yeah, very nice from him. And then the bucket hat, as you know, is the hat you've been wearing today. I wear that every pre-game for good luck, and it's worked very well this season for lots of runs that I've scored.
You definitely made turn inside out.
So he saw this hat and thought another person that would like it. So
brilliant.
Very kind of him.
And so what's your fashion statement?
My fashion's been completely halted.
I mean, obviously you're a father now. Yeah. You're a father now. And has that changed your view on fashion?
No, anything that's comfortable, really. I'm kind of done with it. I'll leave it to the youngsters.
And
sound like his right old senior pro, doesn't it?
His father.
Talk us through your hats. Obviously, yours is branded, and we can't mention it because we're like the
Sponsors.
BBC. Yeah, there are other low-budget shops out there.
I don't know. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, there's one. That's what it sounds like.
Waitrose, Marks and Spencer.
Yeah, they're the badges. Yeah, they're the ones. Yeah. That's what we want.
Okay.
Yeah, especially the ones on the side of the motorway because they're not expensive.
No.
So tell us about your Titfer.
I weirdly just saw this online and just thought, yeah, that looks the bee's knees, so I'm going to get that.
Oh, is it reversible, chap?
It's reversible, yeah. So it goes the other way, as it were, as it very much.
I feel a bit left out of you. I'm the only one not wearing a silly bucket hat. Anyway,
never mind. Anyway, should we have a bit of fun?
Well, this is your part of the show, Bart, because I haven't got a clue what's happening.
Will has played this before, has seen it done before. So we're going to play Mr. and Mr. Okay. I will ask you some questions. Now, Freddie, I've got you as a number 6 because you're more likely to hit 6s than Will. So I've got your name on it. Okay, Freddie. And then Will's number 4. So you're going to have to go and sit next to your old man that side. Will's going to sit. I'll ask you questions.
We're going to swap.
If you think the answer is Freddie, then you put up the number 6 towards the TV camera. You got it?
Yep.
Right.
So we're going to swap places.
Or change.
Otherwise, they'll be cheating.
They will cheat. There are no prizes for this yet, but there might be come the club dinner.
We won't cheat, will we, Fred?
Well, you should know each other. You've been batting with each other for the last 400 years, haven't you?
Right. Sensible the questions are, I suppose. So.
I did ask the current producer if we could have the Mr. and Mr. Theme tune, but he bailed on me.
6 is Fred.
Right, are we ready?
Okay.
Out of you two Herberts, who's the best footballer?
That's not even a question, Fred.
Okay, they got it right. So can somebody keep score, because that's very good.
You're not very good at football.
Pitch on a Saturday.
No, he is.
You did put me, didn't you?
Yeah, there you go. So we'll, right, okay.
Next one. Although Barnes, quickly on, in terms of goals scored and assists, I'd have to say it's me.
Okay.
Can I just say,
I'll sit at the back.
you have a rugby heritage in your family?
What's that got to do with it?
Is he any good at rugby?
He's all right.
Okay, good.
Right. Who would be the best at polo? And I'm not talking water polo. Who would be the best at polo, riding a horse? I got another one right. That's ridiculous.
Purely down to
Who's the best drinker? Oh, controversial.
The smudge claimed himself.
Yes, Smudge has claimed. That's really good. Okay.
Can I just clarify that? Drinking fruit-flavoured cider does not count as drinking.
No, well, there you go.
Well, there you go. We'll have a drink off. I think we'll have a little boat race
That's why
maybe.
your
and then-
answer is correct.
Okay. Who's the most laid back?
By a mile.
Silly question.
So, to level things up, who's the best answer?
Oh. There's not even a competition.
Very good, lads. You're good at this. Who would make the best Prime Minister?
Liz Truss?
No way. That's, mind you, to be fair, we're in enough shit. We couldn't get any worse.
I think any meeting that lasted longer than 10 minutes, Fred wouldn't be interested.
Too long.
So I just mentioned her name, the whole country had forgotten about her.
Who's that?
Who?
Liz Truss.
Oh, yeah, her.
Never heard of her.
No, never heard of her. Who's the best lover?
He's got himself.
Can I just-
I bet he's got himself.
No, he's got
Can I just say that there's only one of you that has proof of that?
you.
Well, that I'm aware of.
Doesn't mean to say he's any good. Right.
Freddie is very good, to be fair.
Sorry, grandmother.
Oh, sorry,
Those
no.
questions are very
Right.
impersonal.
If
They
Freddie-
weren't written by me.
If Freddie batted right-handed and Will's batted left-handed, who would get the most runs?
Oh, no.
Oh, confident.
Hockey.
Very
Hockey.
good.
Hockey
Yeah,
shots.
hockey.
Oh,
Hockey
yeah.
shots, yeah.
Very good.
No, she's
Very-
better than I am.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Who would look the best in drag? You're
Much
good
better
at this,
looking.
aren't you? You're very good at this. Who's the longest in the shower?
Mark, this might be a good idea for you to go make a cup of tea. The way these questions are going. Apologies.
Oh, difficult answer.
Who's got the most embarrassing dad? That was so obvious, wasn't it? Who would your teammates more likely to spend time with?
Ooh. Controversial.
Oh, he's plucked himself.
right.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, yeah.
Fred's always like asleep or doing laps or something.
Who is Tommy Cockles' favourite?
The only reason I'm in the first team.
That's very good. You've done well. I think that's all the
I've
questions.
got some questions.
Go
So
on.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate. I'm going to ask you a question about Will, and Will's going to say whether you've got it right, and then I'm going to the other way around on this one. Right,
still
first
need
one
our
is for
card.
you.
No, I think you can get rid of the cards now.
What is Will's favourite alcoholic drink?
Guinness.
Correct.
Well done. Will, what is Freddie's favourite fielding position?
Oh, I was going to say, what is his favourite drink?
Not including keeping.
Just what? Well, no, that's a fielding position.
Not really. Is.
So he gets shoved in at gully, but I think if he had his way, he'd probably be second slip, possibly.
First slip. It's not far away.
Should have
Right,
just said
I'm going
slip.
to ask.
slip,
I'm going
slip.
to ask both of you this question. Freddie, to start with. What is Will's wife's Christian name?
I did know this. It's lost on me. I did know this, though. No, I'm going to have to pass.
Isla, spelt with a Y.
Oh, I thought you meant... Oh, I know
Christian
Isla.
name.
Oh.
Sorry.
What do you
I meant
think?
surname.
Sorry.
Oh, no. Well, surname's Watts,
Can I
mate.
just say,
Oh, I knew I-
he went to a very dodgy academic school. They didn't,
didn't
explain stuff like that. Will, what is Freddie's girlfriend called?
That went well.
I don't think you've never brought Mrs. Freddie to the club. Would have never met her. I know where she is currently. She's
Where
in
is she?
Thailand right
No,
now.
she's just
Oh, is she?
She's just come back.
Is she having the op?
she's come back, but she hasn't seen Freddie yet. I think it's a bit of a...
I'm going to have a gamble at
Look at
Jess.
the current producer looks like he's on his face off.
I knew Isla. He's confused.
All right, so
The wording.
I know, I
I'm
didn't
confused
know-
by saying Christian name. Sorry, it was technical. Right, so there are two names you could answer this, couldn't you? Her nickname is Pepper
And that's what I call
because she
her. My
snorts
mate's
like
call her.
Peppa Pig. Apparently,
Uni.
No.
I'm not sure when she snorts
So when
like
you
Peppa
do finally
Pig.
bring it to the club,
This is Laura Grunt.
But her name is Grace. Okay, right.
I'm going to make you screw like
right.
a piggy, boy.
What is Freddie's favourite film? Will?
favourite film?
Yes.
I didn't even know that myself.
I don't know. Fires in Babylon.
Not exactly a film, but any of the Dark Knight trilogy would be one of those.
Freddie, what is Will's favourite band or solo artist?
Himself. Don't know. Ed Sheeran, Castle on the Hill.
Sure, done.
Right, you can both answer this. Will, what is Freddie's most hated football team?
Most hated football
Yeah.
team? It's got to be Tottenham, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And vice versa?
If you get this wrong.
Well, I don't think it'd be Everton because I don't think they compete.
You're exactly right.
So I'd go Man United.
Absolutely bang on.
Will, what is Freddie's favourite meal?
Freddie's favourite meal? Well, it would be a selection of items from M&S.
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk would be top of the agenda. Rocky Road. Anything with incredibly high sugar content.
Any protein whatsoever in it at all?
No protein. Not
Okay,
a
I think you
vegetable
probably got that
inside,
nailed on the head. And vice versa? Freddie, what's Will's
Well, you
favourite
just
meal?
had some tuna, was it you just had? Some fish?
Some of us are on a budget, Fred. Some of us
Yeah,
actually
it's,
shop at the They don't just buy the
Living
house.
on your own.
So, you'll go for tuna?
Some pasta. I'll go pasta.
Our pasta is the most eaten item.
Right.
In the house. Very good, Fred.
What is Freddie's second favourite sport?
Well, I'd like to think, being in a cricket club, that it is first. So I'm going to go hockey.
Football.
That'd
In
be
terms of
stupid.
playing, it's hockey. In terms of watching, I'm much
And what's
more
Will's second favourite sport?
rugby. Well,
Okay.
could be cricket.
Okay, the final question for both of you. What's Freddie's favourite computer game?
Ooh, okay.
Are they growing past that now? Do they just not
I
watch
don't
the
know.
computer
I
now?
can't see you sitting there for hours shooting people, so I'm probably going to go FIFA.
Very, very correct.
And what is Will's favourite?
I think something like Ashes cricket or something.
You're probably not far wrong.
Brian
yeah.
Lara cricket.
Brian Lara cricket. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. And those
Story
are all the
races.
questions I've got.
Well, there you go.
Thank you very much, boys, for joining us.
At late notice, that's very good.
Now,
Thanks for having
I
us.
have got some questions for... We were going to invite the favourite son to answer some questions of mine. But no,
He's
moving
moving
out. So perhaps you two can answer the questions that I had for Gus on his behalf.
Okay.
We'll try.
Gus sends his apologies and wants to do the next thing. I said, mate, you just
Well,
can't
it's
pick
too
and
late
choose.
now. I mean, honestly, our current producer is pretty cutthroat on stuff like this. If you mess up once, I mean, I'm probably not going to be allowed to commentate on the last game of the season because I went to the Rewind Festival. Anyway,
Apparently you might be sacked.
He did talk to me about your contract, and then he tried to talk to me about my contract when they said I can't do the whole of the last game because of rugby. And he said, I might have to terminate your contract. I said, well, the only difference is one of those contracts I get paid for, Matt.
also,
So up your game,
he
son.
bribed me today by sending me a bill for sponsoring 2 kegs of cider at the beer festival.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so that I'm
I just say-
Thanks,
I'm
Wellers.
assuming that was a bribe.
Thanks,
Anyway,
Freddie
yeah,
and I
thank you.
were going to think about trying to represent you as your agents, but you're too high maintenance.
Well, on the
so
basis
not
he
gonna
doesn't know what Christian name is, I think I'm probably just going to get myself a solicitor or
No
something.
one
like
says that.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Right, how do you think Gus is coming to terms with being the favourite son?
I think he's. I think he sits back quite quietly and pretend he doesn't care, but he really loves it.
He loves it, doesn't he? I think he does.
Yeah.
And what is his favourite sport?
It'd be cricket, closely followed by golf, I'd imagine. Very capable golfer, young Gav.
Football. He loves football.
Does he not play rugby with you lot?
No, he had to pack up the same as him.
Did he?
Yeah.
There's nothing that he doesn't know about the transfer
Do
window.
you find it disappointing that you are far more durable physically than your sons?
I was probably a little bit more selective about where I put my head.
Okay, fair
Let's say this good looking at 53
Right.
for playing rugby for 25 years.
So who is...
But then I will be a complete cripple in about 5 years'
I
time.
think
You'll
we-
be pushing me around in a wheelchair.
I think we just summarise it by the fact that you were playing for a Welsh side and that answers all the questions
A
you need
Welsh
to ask.
side? I never played for bloody Welsh
I've seen you playing rugby in a Welsh shirt.
Wales.
That doesn't really count.
No,
Let's move
yeah,
on.
well,
okay.
whatever.
Let's
Moving
move
on,
another time.
moving on,
Move on,
boyos.
move on. Mind you,
right.
I had a fabulous team. It was
Exactly.
magnificent.
So,
it was.
who is Gus's favourite male cricketer of all time?
Oh, me, I guess. No, Goody. Who do you think, Will? He had a thing for Ryan Sidebottom because he was the left arm over. So maybe I'm going to pluck for that.
Ryan Sidebottom. Well, we may have to get Gus on in a future show to find out whether any of these answers are anywhere near. And his favourite female cricketer?
Marty Villiers.
Good.
Player.
Okay, well done. His favourite male footballer?
Or currently,
Xhaka.
Any?
currently would probably be Luis Diaz, I would say.
Or Nunes, he loves Nunes.
Does like
Does
Nunes.
he? And favourite female footballer? If he doesn't say Alex Greenwood, I'm going to be really upset.
Alex Greenwood.
Because she's absolutely gorgeous. Hello. Alex, if you're watching, I love you. All right? So Alex Greenwood, we all agree that Alex Greenwood is
Leah Williamson, I'd imagine.
I just need to point out this isn't your personal dating site, okay? Who's the centre half that captains England? The ladies.
Harry Maguire.
No, not Harry Maguire. That's a slab. Is it Millie Bright?
Millie Bright.
I love her. I would need her in the second row at Gosford because she's
murdered. She'd absolutely murder you, Barnes.
She's proper.
Anyway, right. I've got a mathematical question here, but on the basis that any of the family will get the answer right, I'm not going to ask it.
Oh, go on.
What's the square root of 9? See,
Three.
I'll rest my case.
It's 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the answers.
Well, how many answers do you want?
How many answers can you give me, current producer?
He's listening and says, what, he ain't got a clue what's going on.
The square root of 9? Yeah, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 3i, where I is an imaginary number whose square is -1. Sorry.
You've just lost your last viewer.
Anyway, so...
Blimey,
where'd you get that from?
maths degree.
Did you?
Anyway,
Put it to use.
So was Will, I'm asking this now, pretending I'm your Gus, was Will very supportive as an older brother?
Yes, I was. He was.
Was Will supportive?
Yeah, they're brilliant. They're really close, to be honest. It's great.
Oh, good, well done. Was this still the case when he discovered that he was number 2 son?
When Will discovered he was number 2.
But was he still supportive?
Well, it depends, because it varies, because Cockles comes into my life, Dave Pro, Eric, there's Hooky, there's a few floating around the rugby club as well, so...
So now we're getting into some really personal questions, and that is, do you have a girlfriend?
Me?
No. Oh, you're pretending you're Gus now. Does Gus have a girlfriend?
I was going to say, I thought you wanted me to try and admit I have a girlfriend. My wife's watching.
Sorry, can I just say, let's not make any confusion here at all. Will is not having an affair.
Am I gaff?
I don't know. No, let's say no.
Right.
I do have a beard.
So, because the reason why I've asked that is because in the Flory President's match, I thought that was the...
We
You're not going to ask yet.
Okay, well, I can guarantee the answer's no.
Okay, Gus, if you're watching, you know what I'm thinking, don't you? I want to hear about that. Do you ever give... I've got this is a question I wanted to ask Gus, but it's good that you two are here. Do you ever give your dad or your brother, or do you ever ask them for dating advice? So has Gus ever come to you, Barnes, I mean, obviously, father-son sort of thing, and asked you for advice on dating?
I don't think Gus has ever come to me and asked me advice on anything unless he's deeply in the mire. Okay. Then he calls his old man to bail him out. But
that's after he's called me.
That's after he's called Will. So definitely not.
Has he ever asked you?
He maybe once or twice, but...
Okay. How did that go?
Very well. We still signal, so
perfect.
So paid off. Gus is his own man.
Yeah. So I've got here, who do you ask, Gus? And I'd put here, I am available.
I think he should.
I am available to give dating advice.
I think he should come.
Well,
to
who do you think Gav should ask in
Bear.
that scenario?
Bear.
Out of the two of us. Out of the two of us.
Out of you and Bear.
I think I'm the man for the job.
Me and you.
Right.
There's no
anyway,
asking me anyway.
So, Gus, do you prefer bowling medium pace or left arm spin?
Medium pace.
What is your highest ever score?
Well, you got 100 and something.
100 and...
He should be on the board.
19.
Ooh, well done.
Yeah.
And best bowling figures?
He took 5 for 3 when he was against somebody when he was a wee whippersnapper.
Favourite meal?
We love the curry.
Mum's chicken tikka.
There you go.
Is that nice? Good.
It's been a while.
Recipe hasn't changed.
Is it spicy?
It is now.
Favourite alcoholic beverage?
Gav's a cider man, yeah.
Not fruit flavoured cider, real cider. Real cider. The stuff that makes Freddie Bear a little bit poorly. That cider.
Yeah, because it's actually alcoholic.
Right, and you like this question, Barnes, because you ask it with all your guests. If you could have a curry out with 2 people, dead or alive, who would you choose? This is Gus, and he can't choose you two, or Freddie Bear or me, or Barnes, or Badger.
Well, I think you should just answer that, and you can ask Gus next time if we get Gus on.
I think you take...
And you can ask
I think you'd probably take...
No, you do it, and then ask Fred, and we'll ask Gus if we get him on. You'd 2 people for a curry, would be.
What you want me to
Yeah,
answer
you
to
answer
me?
it for you.
For Will.
You're not-
Will?
you're
Me?
not- Yeah, you're not
Hi,
Gus anymore.
Will.
You've stopped being Gus now.
Oh, I see. This is very confusing.
Yeah, it
isn't it? Who would I take? I'd probably take Johnny Wilkinson, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably take.
Badger?
Yeah, I was just looking.
You were looking at
Caught my
Badger.
eye. No, I take.
Is it that jacket and the very, very smooth hairdo?
Interesting. Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela, great. Freddie Bear, this is going to be interesting. Eminem and Dave.
Dave the Pro.
No, not Dave the Pro, but Dave.
I reckon Vieira and Roy Keane, just to wind them up.
Oh, Vieira and Roy Keane.
See them scrap.
Just see them have a fight.
Very good.
Would you have pizza, though, in the curry house?
That's Fabregas who threw pizza, isn't
No, it wasn't. No,
it? It was. He confirmed it.
Oh, did he? Oh, right.
Back off.
Okay, right. And that's all the questions I have for you two boys.
Wow.
Thank you very much for joining us. Please,
Thanks
please,
for having
please get 100 opening partnership at the weekend.
Both games.
Put the game to
Try.
bed and win it so that we can start
Try our
celebrating,
best.
please.
Last time we opened over there, Freddie got 100 in the league game.
You did. Well done. Thank you very much. Thank
Well
you,
done,
Freddie. Well done. Thank you, Will.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Good work.
There you go. And as you can see, viewer, our batting is in very safe hands, isn't it, Barnes?
Amazing. We're very lucky.
When you have deep thinkers like that opening the batting, you know that every single game strategically is going to go the right
It's
way.
carnage, really, when you think about it. When they were both young, I just can't believe what they do, to be honest.
So, it's 1:15 and it's past my bedtime.
Yeah.
Badger just looked at his watch, by the way. Said, is it 1:15?
Generally thought it was 1:15.
So we're...
Baz, are you on your way out? Are you just about to go on a date, or have you just come back from something? Well done. I knew that. I was just trying
would you like to come sit next to me on the top table? Come and sit, just while we wind up, because you know this man is does so much hard work on a Saturday. And
He's
goes
got your
around.
jeans on.
He goes all around. Look, he's got a lovely little handkerchief in here. It's fantastic. Honestly, he looks incredibly dapper, but he does a tremendous amount for the club.
Amazing. He
In
is a
all
wonderful-
respects.
he is a
all the
wonderful man.
advertising hoardings. You know, he's up there with his those little pulley things.
They're
that
called
you,
cable ties,
Yeah,
aren't
them. Yeah, I've heard about those. And he puts all them up like that, and he does all these great roving reporting stuff. And you're an amazing guy.
Well, thank you.
And
But
you're
just-
very
there's plenty of
understated.
Just one thing. On Saturday it was quite windy, and one or two of those banners start to look a little bit shabby. So up your game, son.
Yeah.
We had a lap today.
2 weeks.
We had a chat about it, but
They've only got to last 2
it's
weeks.
about standards.
Yes.
But yeah, amazing. I cannot believe how many miles he does, dotting around Oxfordshire or Buckinghamshire, and I'm here at the Twos game, blah blah blah.
And
But to be fair, you do bring a lot of wickets to the opposition as well.
That's what I mean. Now, you might think it's really good, but the threes have pretty much banned me because I keep...
Well, they're not doing all right. They're
Well, the
second in the league.
twos in particular, Benling, I think I've got him out 3 times this year, and very cheaply.
Yeah.
And my figures are about 6 for 46
average.
this weekend.
That's very
Well
good.
done, well done,
Well
Badger.
done, mate.
Fantastic.
Good.
So, are we going to have another podcast, current producer? Do you think we should have?
Were you asleep then? Did we wake you up?
I think he was dreaming. What would it?
Are you?
Would it-
dirty lag.
Wouldn't it be good to have a podcast on the Monday after the end of the season so that we can celebrate in that podcast?
And that's 2 weeks today.
A promotion to the Premier League would be great, wouldn't it?
And I had an idea today that what we should do is try and get as many video clips of people when they've had a drop. So you know all these trendy podcasts, they have these unseen cuts and people have to subscribe and all the rest of it. Whether or not we can just get loads of interviews, people a bit squiffy, keep it clean, and then try and put a montage together about half hour of different clips and just put it on the
Do you
YouTube.
remember we were doing Instagram stories at the end of season party last year, you and I, and you just got a bit obsessed with Luke Maslin.
I can get obsessive.
We'll certainly have a look, Maslin.
Can I just say, I know Paul Maslin, his father, very well, and you've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
You just kept saying, "Oh my God, you're
I tell you what,
good-looking."
when I'm not sure what you saw on Saturday, but our current producer, we started having polls. So we had a poll between Max Smith at Horsepath and Luke, who's the best looking. Poll was shut too early.
Presumably, Luke won that easily.
Yeah, I'm not so sure easily. Personally, I think Max is a very handsome young man. Anyway, then we had one whether or not cauliflower cheese should be allowed on a roast dinner. That gained a lot of interest.
Cauliflower cheese every time with the roast dinner,
And then
without a shadow
the
of a doubt.
last one was, which
Gets my
I've
vote.
never heard of, right? Crumpets with either Marmite
Yes.
or honey.
Yes, no, not honey. Marmite.
No.
Honey.
Not honey.
No, so it's quite
That's not
interesting.
right. It's not right. That's not right.
Is that an Arsenal shirt? Is it?
It is.
Is it? Yeah. Have you paid for that, Bear?
What, inadvertently?
Goodbye,
Will.
Will.
Bye-bye, Will. Look, Arsenal are taking over the world. Paul knows that, and they are the greatest team in the world that wear red. Everybody knows that.
You talk utter dribble.
Anyway, so what guests might we have on that? We could have any guests, but I do think we want Dave the Pro for a full-length interview on that last.
Could be his last couple of weeks.
Full length. Is there something you know that I don't?
No, Dave. I feel there's unfinished business with Dave the Pro.
A lot.
Yeah, we've got many questions that I want to ask him.
That man up there, right?
He's a wonderful man.
He wants to be up there, so he needs to bag a 6 for.
Yeah.
So good luck, chap.
Got a good feeling.
Is it true that if he doesn't get a 5 for or a 6 for or a 7 for in the next 2 games, his visa will be confiscated? He won't be able to get back on the aeroplane and go home.
Something like that.
I think that's a pretty good incentive.
I think we should just kidnap him.
So if he doesn't get that in the last 2 final league matches, he has to go and work in a pub all the way through winter, and then start next season as though he's been living here all this time.
So he'll be an overseas barman rather than
the one person that'll be relieved about that is Eric, because it won't take 3 years to get him back again.
Yeah. Anyway,
which is good. Anyway, so he could possibly be our final guest. Well, he will be our final guest.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to stop us doing little shows for the winter as their current producer. Life doesn't stop, does it?
Still plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
We've always got stuff to talk about.
We've always got something to talk about.
There's always stuff for you guys can talk about.
So, good to see you. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, well done, Badge.
See you. I won't see you on Saturday because you'll be playing rugby.
No. I'm going to be here watching the
watching number one son.
Watching number one son.
Number one son.
You're going to watch a little bit.
I shall be watching a little bit on the way to the Emirates,
Yeah.
and then depending on how quickly we get out of London, I might be able to watch the end of it afterwards.
Perfect.
But we'll see how that goes.
And then following week we'll do a little bit. I'll go to rugby, come back, do a little bit. And then it's...
And we're going to have a party in the pod, current producer. I think I might bring some champagne.
Party in the pit.
I was aware the other day we haven't actually smashed a bottle of champagne against the pod. The only reason being that champagne bottles are very thick, and I suspect if we tried it out of the pod, it might just disintegrate.
Yeah. Please don't. It took so long to paint
so we'll do a ceremonial smashing.
Or we could just smash Badger into it.
Yeah, we could do.
Just run and just throw him straight into it.
So I think that will work very well.
Good.
Okay, so all I can say is, well, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Good night. Badger.